If you're a mom of kids with eczema, then this video is for you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 food types that I have removed and replace them with other foods in order to help my kids heal their eczema. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I know how annoying and destructive it can be when they have eczema and it's irritating, dry, itchy, scratching. They have nosebleed. They have all sorts of problems that's associated with the eczema and that's keeping them and me up at night. I've been there and I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned so that it helps you cut your time and suffering. Well, actually, from your kids from suffering with their eczema. So, my name is Jenny Nguyen. I have a history of over 17 years of registered nurse, mostly being in the ER, and also have a holistic nutrition diploma. I've seen so many parents coming in with their kids, feeling so bad because the kids have eczema and there are so many things that could have been prevented and they don't even have to come to the emergency. But because they don't know what to do, there's so many misinformation out there, they get so confused. It's such a shame because the child looks so uncomfortable. So I'm helping you to shortcut your time that you have to go through, and then hopefully you can make better choices, and that's going to help improve your child's health. So the 5 food types that I've removed are number one, sugary snacks. So those includes cake, cupcake, donuts. I haven't had these for so long, candies, cookies, crackers, and I replace them with fruits. So the reason being why this is not good for you, because it's important to know the reason why so that you can make better informed decision instead of just saying, oh, do what I say. So the reason being is because one, it causes a high influx of your sugar to spikes, and there's a lot of fluctuation of it with overconsumptions and prolonged consumption lead to insulin resistance. And what happens is that when you have insulin resistance, that your body doesn't respond as well to the insulin compared how it was. And so that means it's not functioning as well, it's not working properly. Also, in the long run, it can cause inflammation. And inflammation is pretty much like irritation to your skin. Think about it. Your skin or the skin of an eczema child, like it's already angry and inflamed enough. The last thing you want to do is cause more it to be angry, more angry, and then keeping them up at night from scratching and itching, right? So another reason why I avoid these sugary snacks is also because they are a lot of times acidic. Your body have to use a lot of nutrients, fluids, water to break that down. When it robs your body of the nutrients that it needs in order to break that sugar product down, then it's literally robbing your bank, robbing your, like your deposit account of money. You think you're putting in these sugary snacks and it's so good, but it's literally robbing your body of your health. And that causes microinflammation damages to the cell. Whenever there is micro damages to the cell, that means there's micro damages to the skin. So if the skin is getting more damage, it's not going to heal properly, right? Another thing is that it's also like very high in glycemic index, leads to further issue like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all sorts of issues that goes along with it. Some of the fruits that I use to that I give my kids is pretty much like blueberries, strawberry, raspberry, I mean, any of the berries, blackberries, they're so good because they're good in antioxidants. The reason why I choose fruits, apple, pear, banana, there's so many options. If you choose organic is better, choosing fruits is better is because of the antioxidants, the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, the water, the fiber. These are the things that help balance out your sugar, gives your body the nutrients, keep it hydrated, and that's going to help with your skin as well. So that's one of the things. So number two, the second type group is, well, it's not really a food, but anyways, I just categorize it, is bubble tea. So for those who love bubble tea, I don't know about you, but we used to love it and we have a lot of it. And I replace it with water, coconut water, my herbal drink that has, goji berry, uh, dates, pear, fungus, extra gallus root. There's also like a lotus root, and I make it like is my herbal drink. And also I make a uh, daikon daikon radish with carrots and dates in it. So I make it into a drink, and also my kids also eat the vegetables with it as well too, and they actually like it. So that is the option that I use instead of the bubble tea. So the reason why I avoid bubble tea is because similar to like the sugary snacks is because there's a lot of refined sugar, there's syrup, sugar, there's so many additives that is in the bubble tea. A lot of times is that people think, okay, one of the misconception is that people think that, oh, you're having a drink, you should feel refreshed and hydrated. When you're drinking bubble tea or a drink that's loaded with sugar, there's a lot of syrup in it. A lot of times is that it actually will dehydrate your cells more, your body more, because the amount of sugar, the amount of additives, the amount of caffeine that's in it actually cause like your body to be net loss of fluids because from a cellular perspective, whenever there is a sugar intake, especially a high sugar intake, because sometimes like bubble tea can be 30 to 60 grams of sugar in it, or even more, depending on the type that you drink. That's a lot. So when there's sugar in it, water tends to follow the sugar. If you know you're having a lot of sugar in it, there's fluids that tend to go into the gut to help digest and break down that sugar in your body. Not only that, so when the kidney try to filter out excess sugar, you lose water with it because the sugar has this osmotic has this effects where it likes to pull onto the water in order to break it down and to flush it out of your system. If you think that you're actually getting hydrated from drinking this, you know, you might be wrong because uh, that's one of the things that you probably don't know about. Here's a hint. If you feel more thirsty after drinking it, and the likelihood of it having a lot of sugar or have a content that is not good for your body is high. And you shouldn't feel more thirsty or your urine shouldn't be darker or you feel unusually hungry for no reason after you have that massive drink. Those are signs to say that, hey, this drink is actually not good for your body and you should think twice about that. Anyways, another thing with it is because not only does bubble tea has a lot of sugar in it, it's also they have tea or some form of caffeine that's in it. And the caffeine has a natural diuretic effect. So it makes you pee often or more than you actually need to. Skin cells want to be hydrated. And if your cell is not hydrated because you're losing fluids going to the washroom all the time and your body's trying to use all this nutrient and water to break down the sugar, your cell's not going to be happy. And if your cell's not going to be happy, what do you think is going to happen to your skin? It's not going to be hydrated as it should, right? So that's the thing when it comes to fluids, go for the less sugary stuff, go for the things that actually helps like coconut water has electrolytes in it. That's actually really refreshing and it's actually good for you. Number three is that I remove from my diet and my kids' diet is bread and cereal. So you think that breakfast should start with bread or some kind of cereal because it's so easy, so convenient. You probably have done this or is doing it right now. I know because I've done it as well too, thinking that a certain cereal is so healthy for them when in reality it is actually not. So I've replaced those cereals with potatoes, so steamed potato, yam, taro, kabocha squash, squash and butternut squash. There's so many different options. Brown rice, even those are better options than the cereal because a lot of times it's through the processing, through the well, actually the ingredients that are in the cereal and the bread, a lot of times they contains gluten or wheat, right? Especially if when it's made in the United States, have been sprayed with glyphosate in it. It's pretty much a pesticide. And so there is a lot of chemicals that's in it and that your body doesn't want to be on an overload of toxin. When there's a lot of chemicals in it, it makes it harder for your liver and to break it down, right? It needs to pull out the nutrients from your body in order to detoxify or at least try to detoxify those chemicals that you have put in. And one of the cereal, like I mentioned, you think that it's actually really healthy, but it's not because like Cheerio ranked really high in terms of the amount of glyphosate that's in it and much higher than the recommendation that is healthy for you or the safe limit that you're supposed to have or your children's supposed to have. So that being said, some of the things that we consider as healthy because it's been marketed to us as healthy. And we don't know any better. I didn't know any better before until I realized this is actually not helping. And like it's hard to make changes, but the thing is that we can't just like if you think about it, you don't want to remove the food without adding something good to it. So when you add something good, replacing it with something that's helpful, that is the key thing. That's going to help you and your kids in the long run, and that's going to make a big difference in their eczema healing journey. Number four is dairy products like milk and cheese. So the reason, well, I replaced them with air, nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I replaced them with like nuts, tofu, avocado, bananas, like the dairy products like no no yogurt, no milk, no cheese, no pizza because of the cheese in it. So we don't eat those anymore. And there's a populations of like about 60 to 70% roughly of the world's population that will have some kind of a lactose intolerance. So that means your body don't even have or not enough of that enzyme to like the enzyme lactase, to break down the sugar that is lactose. So some of the signs and symptoms that you might get when you can't break it down is bloating, diarrhea, upset stomach, feeling uncomfortable. And over time, if you keep on eating those food, it can cause micro damages, inflammations, irritations, not enough nutrients and fluids being absorbed because of the effects that cause from the lactose and in general it causes on the gut health. And another thing is that there's some casein and whey. So these are the proteins that they're common allergens, and then sometimes people don't even know about it because if you think about it, biologically, cow's milk is made for baby cows or calf to have. It's not really meant for human to take or drink, right? But anyways, marketing. But anyways, regardless of that, so because of that reason, I've discarded those, replaced the milk or the dairy product with better options because a lot of times is that it makes such a big difference. People think that they can get calcium from milk or like milk is the biggest source of calcium like that. But when in reality, there's so many different types of food that can provide you with calcium. When it comes to fish, there's a lot of calcium in it. You can have calcium even in broccoli, collard greens, beans. In order to have strong bones, you need more than just calcium. So this is one of the things I think the misconception that we have is that we think that, by having lots of milk or dairy products, that's going to help build strong bone. But did you know, like in the developed countries, the study actually showed that we're like one of those people, the country that actually have higher incident of osteoporosis, meaning that, your bones brittle and weak and it's at risk of fracture. Why is it? The country that actually drink more milk or take in more dairy product end up actually having a higher risk of osteoporosis. Mind blowing, right? It doesn't make any sense. But there's many factors to it. So just want to let you know that, like just because these are the options, you have to find out what works for you. If you're lactose intolerance, then of course stay away from it because then it's going to cause gut issues. Any issues that is gut issue is also a skin issue. So better gut health means better skin health. That's just part of it. Another thing is that cheese or milk, they tend to be on the acidity side because of the higher fat content and it's animal protein. So whenever there's a high acidity, the body likes to balance itself. So it will draw off the nutrients from the body in order to buffer it, to make it more alkaline, because the body tends to be on an alkaline side. They like to be on an alkaline side so that it can function so much better. Number 5 types of food that I cut out is deli meat. So that includes like ham, bologna, salami, pepperoni, turkey slice, those deli slice and all that stuff. And I literally replaced it with lean cooked meat like chicken breast, lamb, beef, boiled eggs. Actually feed them real meat or as much as whole food as possible. And the reason why I avoided deli meat is because there is a lot of nitrates, like through the whole processing curing of these deli meat is that there are a lot of additives like salt, sugar, additives, preservatives, and nitrates. Nitrates leads to conversion to nitrosamine. In these meats, they are classified by the World Health Organization as one of the carcinogens, so pretty much a cancer-inducing um, additives, compounds. There's a lot of there's higher risks of colon cancer or rectal cancer when you eat a lot more food that has nitrates that convert to nitrosamine, so the deli meat. So if you think about it, if it's bad for your cell and it's cancer inducing, why would you want to give that to your kids who already have eczema? You don't, because what are the likelihood that is going to cause their eczema to be worse off, right? More likely because of all the additives, the things that's already in it, it creates a higher toxic load on their body because they have to break it down, work harder to get rid of all those preservatives, all those additives, and the nitrosamine, not good for them. Another thing is that I avoided is because there are in the salami or the pepperoni is that there's a lot of histamine, or they tend to be on the high histamine side. So I don't know if you know, but antihistamine like medications such as Benadryl, they are for to help with allergies. So runny nose, itchiness, swelling, redness, they are antihistamine. So if you're taking in the food that are high in histamine, the likelihood is that it can cause your skin for your body to become itchy, rash, scratchy, dry, redness, feeling uncomfortable. So then it triggers your eczema, especially for the ones who have eczema that are sensitive to histamine. That can make it worse for you. So I just stopped eating that because I noticed that when we do, my kids' skin improve. They feel better overall, and they're they actually sleep during nighttime. They don't have the nosebleed anymore. So all these things help me, and I want to share with you so that you can make those decisions for yourself. Don't just take my words for it. The key thing is that go out and do it and try it for yourself. Keep track of it. See what works and how, whether it helps or not. Adjust. The thing is that you don't have to get rid of all these five food types, right? Start with one and then see how that works for you and your kids, and then go to the next one at a time, right? I didn't get to where I am in helping my kids with their eczema, get rid of it and help them, be so much better. It didn't happen overnight. It happens over many different trial and error and making all those mistakes, being irritated, and then not feeling like a failure as a mom because I couldn't even, take care of my kids properly. Don't beat yourself up for it. Just try, see how it works, adjust, and go accordingly. So if you find that this video is helpful, subscribe, or even, comment on what you find is helpful or what techniques or what you did that has helped you and that you want to share. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we want to be able to not only help ourselves, but help the other women out there who have kids who are suffering from eczema. And, hopefully that we build a healthier community so that we can do the things that we want to do and have fun instead of worrying and staying up all night, scratching, being irritated. So see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. Bye.